Didn't even see you guys. Welcome back. I'm Gus.
Hi, I'm Karylu. Make sure, first of all, that you're subscribed and ring the notification.
Talking about none other than sugars.
Oh my gosh.
That's right, guys. We're
Is
talking all kinds of sugars
crazy.
today in this Healthy Habits segment.
Now,
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
Yes. It might even be shocking.
Shocking. That's
shocking.
right.
Okay, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, we have a couple of items, right, that we could, we took a couple of items that we could find in our pantries, right,
Mhm.
that we probably even eat on a daily basis. I'm not really sure what your diet looks like. So we're going to discuss a couple of those items, and even more so, we're going to look very in-depth into how much sugar, the amount of sugar that is in each one of those items in our pantry.
If you saw our last live stream, you might notice it's a little bit different. Today we're sitting down, we're having a little bit of chit chat, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be not interesting. All right, first we're going to be handling a few food items. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands.
And I'll go after her. So yeah, like we said, you can probably leave in our comment section below a couple of items that you might snack on after school or before school, or something that you grab for breakfast. Let us know what it is that you guys eat on a daily basis as a snack. And it'd be really interesting for us to maybe in another segment look into how much sugar are into those, or just to get us familiar with what kind of stuff you guys are dealing with at home. But today we have some that are not that are very common, that you can easily find in your pantry, and we're going to be taking a look into how much sugar is in each one of those. It's my turn to wash my hands.
Also, if you have any other things that you might be curious if they're healthy or not, feel free to leave a comment down below suggesting anything that you're curious about, and we'll see what we can do to answer your questions. All right. Excuse me while I take a sip of water. Okay. So, what are we going to talk about first, Gus?
Let's talk about a couple of the items. Let's go down our list of items, and then we'll kind of go back and just talk about.
So, first of all, here we have a food scale. We're going to turn it on. Okay. Next, I have a little glass jar. Very cute. What are we going to put in the jar, Gus?
That is where we're going to be measuring our sugar.
Okay, so we're going to be measuring out the sugar content of certain items. Now, how do you do that?
Okay, you just kind of tear. There you go.
Okay.
Oh wait, yeah.
Gus will get the sugar, and I will prepare
fix
this.
the camera really quick just so you guys can see a little more, since we're sitting on wooden.
Let me grab a cup.
There it is. Okay, so this is a scale. This is what I normally use to weigh out my coffee in the mornings. But today we're going to be using it for measuring out sugar. You can use it. A lot of people use scales like this to measure out how much protein they take, how many carbs they eat on a daily basis. So really a scale you can use to the advantage, whatever it is that you need to weigh out, you can weigh it out as well. So today we're going to be measuring out our sugar. I have a big tub of sugar right here. This is all sugar. You can see that. This is our big tub of sugar, which is going to be our reference as to how much sugar is in each one of the items that we're going to be talking about. So why don't you go ahead and show us one of your items that you have on that side. Let's just walk through the whole line, and then we'll go back and look at them individually.
Okay. So first I have here a can of Pepsi, not sponsored. It's cola, okay? Here it says that there's 41 grams of sugar in this.
Okay. Or should we just go like one by one?
I'm gonna mention them all, and we can go back.
Go.
So this is a can of Big Red, and here it says that there's 43 grams of sugar. And here I have a glass of Hawaiian Punch, which says that it has 14 grams of sugar. Alrighty. Let me get these out of the way. Next up, I have some frosting, and this says it has 20 grams of sugar per serving. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Here I have some Red Hot, some yummy, yummy cinnamon candies, and this says it has 12 grams of sugar. Next up, I've got some lovely, yummy strawberry Pop-Tarts. Let's see, what does this say? It says, where is it? It says 30 grams of sugar. Okay, and then I also have some cereal, which we can talk about again in a little bit.
Wow.
What do you have, Gus?
Okay, on my side, I have just a few. I have marshmallows. This says it contains 16 grams of sugar.
16 grams
Marshmallows,
of sugar.
16 grams of sugar. I have corn. I couldn't find a smaller can. But this is our corn. And for serving, a serving is half a cup, which would be half of this. So half of this contains a total of 7 grams of sugar. All right, so that's that. And then the last thing that I have on my side is the strawberry syrup, which contains a total of 24 grams of sugar. So, yeah, what I have on my side. Now, Karylu, I have
That's
a question.
interesting, Gus.
Where can we find the information of how much sugar is in each one of our products?
Oh, that is a very good point. I'm sure people noticed that I was looking at the back of the cans, and you're thinking, like, oh, I never look at the cans. I just crack it open, take a sip, nice and refreshing and yummy. Well, here we have this little box. Sorry, it's cold, so there's some condensation. We have this little box here, and it says nutrition facts. This is on every single food item that you buy in the store. That's not like raw vegetables or something. Anything that has a package has this nutrition facts label. That's a standard thing. It's a requirement for all food products. So on the nutrition facts, you're going to find the serving size up here. So right here, it says serving size 1 can. And then it says amount per serving, which is calories per serving is 150. So in this can of soda, there's 150 calories. And then it goes on to say total fat, sodium, total carbs, total sugars, which is what we're looking at. And then underneath it, it says added sugars. Now that's different because there's natural sugars and then there's added sugars. Then it also has protein, and then depending on the food item, it'll have a list of things like vitamins or fats. They're all going to be a little bit different, but those few are always going to be standard. They're always going to be the same. However, sometimes when you have a larger product, when you look at the nutrition facts, it'll say calories really big, 60. So you think, oh, okay, there's only 60 calories in this. That's not that bad. But you'll have to take into account that it says per serving. Per serving is 60 calories. How much is serving? Is 8 ounces. So this is about give or take 8 ounces. So This is 60 calories. This is not 60 calories. This is a lot more. You'd have to do the math. So you have to be careful with things like this that you're drinking. And serving sizes can be a little tricky sometimes. So yeah, this little box, all this information is for 1 serving. All that information is just for this 1 little cup. So if you wanted to figure out how much is in the whole thing, it says there's about 8 servings per container. So you'd have to multiply everything by 8 to figure it out. So that means 14 grams of sugar is in here. But what's 14 times 8? 8, 16, 24, 32 plus 80. 42 plus 8 is 42, 122.
Oh.
If I'm wrong, I'm very sorry. So all of that is
roughly.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. All right. So what item should we take a look at first?
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this first, since we were talking about this the most. All right. So in here, again, we're not sponsored by anything. Just saying. There is. So
this is
off.
Regular. What did you say this was?
Unbleached.
Oh, unbleached raw cane sugar. So.
Raw cane sugar, because normally the white sugar that you see, it's been through a process to get rid of the natural brownish color.
And even more, like there's one that they use specifically in baking. It's called it's not powdered. It's called something else.
Confectioner's
sugar.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as powdered sugar.
Yeah.
There's lots of different types of sugars. There's also different types of sugar substitutes because of the reasons that we're going to be talking about. So this one is just plain sugar.
Plain old sugar.
It's just not bleached, which is why it looks a little bit yellow or brown or beige. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So here we go.
This was how many grams of sugar in 1 serving?
Let's see, 14.
14 grams. Okay, so right now we're at 4. Oops.
4. So there's what is that? A teaspoon?
8. This is 1 Teaspoon, yes.
So there's about 4.5 grams of sugar per teaspoon. That's it's
13. I think all of it. There it is. 14.
okay.
So this is how much sugar is in this 1 cup. If you were to take out just the sugar, this is how much sugar there is in this 1 cup.
I'd say that's quite a lot, don't you think?
That is, because I cannot imagine, maybe, I don't know, maybe for a child.
Especially, like even for me, I think that looks like quite a lot. So
yeah.
For y'all little children out there.
Yeah, this is too much sugar to have in your system.
And for kids, the recommended daily amount of sugar that you should have is about 25 grams or 29 grams, around there, 25. So this is already half of what you're supposed to have per day in 1 glass of punch.
Which a lot of people will not just have 1 glass.
Mm-hmm. You're going to have
especially if you're drinking that with a
refills.
meal, you'll probably be doing like 2-3 glasses to make sure you wash down the food.
And this is pretty sorry. This is pretty serious stuff because too much sugar can lead to a lot of health issues.
Right.
It can lead to diabetes, which is a big problem here in our area. It can lead to heart disease. It can lead to tooth decay. You need your teeth to eat. If they fall out because of too much sugar and they're getting rotted, it's just a vicious cycle. It just keeps getting worse and worse and nothing ever changes. So we have to be conscious about our sugar intake. Mm-hmm. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, next up, can of Pepsi. This is the big one. This is a juice. It's a lot of kids drink it. This is soda, and it's colored soda. It's cola. This has 41 grams of sugar. That is so much.
Oh my goodness,
yeah, that's way more than that. That's how much is this? It's gonna fill up the whole little jar.
Yeah,
okay, well let's see.
Okay, so you said 41?
Yes, 41.
So there's 1 teaspoon.
A 2. A 3. A 4. That wasn't here.
Yeah. 41?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we're almost there. Okay, that's it.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
No!
That's a lot of sugar.
That's too much.
In this can. And it kind of looks different because of the glass, but that's so much sugar.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That's really shocking.
Uh-huh.
That's like this much of the soda can is just sugar. The rest is like the other stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And also, if you're looking at the nutrition facts label, the ingredients, it always tells you in the order of like the highest amount of ingredients. So the first ingredient is carbonated water. So it's mostly water. But then it's high fructose corn syrup, which is another form of sugar and sweetener.
Right.
So that's the second ingredient is sugar, sweetness. Then it's the coloring, which is the dark brown color. And then it's the sugar. So there's sugar in here twice. Sugar. And then you don't just drink 1 can. You can drink like 3 cans per meal.
Okay, so let's say...
Comment. OMG, this is very interesting and scary at the same time. Way to go.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
is.
Don't forget to comment, guys, because this is really crazy. Like, you don't think about this. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to say, like, let's say that I'm going to do 2 cans.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be... Let's do another 42. Okay. Just because I know quite a few people, and I'll name them.
Uh-oh.
That will not just have 1 can, but they will have 2 cans, maybe even 3.
I'm guilty of doing that on occasion.
Of soda.
Keep in mind, even for adults, the daily recommended serving is about 30 grams per day. So 1 can is already more than that. It's crazy.
I can't. Look at this. That is half.
It's almost full.
Yes, that is half of this small jar of sugar. That is a lot of sugar.
That's a lot of sugar. Another thing I forgot to mention about this information here on the edge, it says, let me try to show you. It's going to be really, really tiny. Maybe on this one, a little bit bigger. Really, really tiny. But on the side here, it says percent DV. What that means is percent daily value. So all these percentages on the side for each ingredient is how much of the percentage of your whole day based on a 2,000 calorie standard diet. That's how much it takes up of your day. So what we were talking about the soda, just in the sugar is 83% of what you're supposed to have in one day. Just one can. Crazy. I'm not getting over this because it's just out of this world.
Shocking.
Truly shocking. Here's another example for soda. This one has 43. So this one had 41. This one has 43.
Okay, so
that's pretty similar.
Yeah,
I don't
it's pretty
think we have to
similar.
measure it again.
Yeah.
It's just so much.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
next up, frosting.
Frosting. Oh my God, how I used to. Okay, so quick fact, right? I recently, at the beginning of the year, 2020, new year, new me. Well, not really, right? But one of my New Year's resolutions was to stop eating sugar. More specifically, refined and processed sugars, which is anything that you find in, I don't know, like a Twinkie or like
Added
a soda.
sugars.
Yeah, all the added sugars and frosting and stuff. So if I were to mention anything about eating sugar, this was like in my past life, before I gave all that up. But if you want to know how I've been doing great. It's been one of the hardest things to do, to leave all the sugar behind, because everything that we eat has sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a huge difference between processed, refined, and natural sugars.
Mm-hmm.
Your body has a much harder time breaking down a sugar that is refined and processed, as opposed to eating natural sugars, which contain several vitamins and minerals that help your body break down the sugar when it is digesting in your system. So yeah, it's been one of the hardest things to do, but I love it. I've noticed one of the changes that I've noticed is that I have much less sugar crashes, which is after eating when I would eat like say a cupcake or a piece of cake. Afterwards, I'd get this my body would just kind of slow down and I wouldn't really want to move and I just want to be a couch potato basically. Well, I haven't experienced that in a while, which is something that I really, really like. So yeah, anyway, back to this.
It's interesting that you mentioned that though, because I have here a list of facts about sugar. Okay. And one of them is that excess sugar consumption has been linked to cancer, which is super scary and awful. And that we're addicted to sugar, like inherently, because sugar has existed for so long. I would say more than 1,000 years, because
way back. Yeah,
it's been around for a really long time. There's studies that say that our addiction might be genetic because of so much time that's been passed, and we're just born craving sugar. So it's super tough to give it up. It's also really toxic. It can damage your liver. Excess sugar is tied to memory and cognitive processing issues. There's so much facts on here. Anyways,
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So, and well, to keep this on a lighter note, right? Mm-hmm. We are going to be looking into like several options towards the end of what you can consume instead of eating all this.
Healthier alternatives. You're still going to have some sugar in, but you can't super duper avoid it, especially if you're young and you want a healthy but tasty snack.
Right.
You don't want to eat cardboard.
No, you don't. No, that doesn't sound like fun.
Alrighty. So, can I open this?
Yes, go. Oh, it's brand new.
It's brand new.
Yeah, you can open it.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
Because, like you were saying,
we're about to have some. Because we're about to eat. No, I'm kidding.
Teaspoon right
here. Yeah, there's some in there.
Okay, so like we were saying, here it says 140 calories per serving, and there's 20 grams of sugar per serving of frosting. Right here. But the serving size is 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
That's not a lot, guys. That's not a lot. So there's 14 servings of this in here. So let me see. Here's a tablespoon. Let me just grab this. All right. me see this.
I can get you like a clear cup so you can show them what 2 tablespoons is.
It doesn't even want to come out of here.
Just use your finger. I mean, we washed our hands.
I did wash my hand. No, I'm not going to eat this. This is just for show.
Okay.
Ew. Okay. This is 2 tablespoons of sugar. There's 20 grams of sugar in this.
There's 20 grams of sugar in that. Okay. So I'm going to start measuring it out just so we could break it, just to see if it kind of looks the same.
It might
Right?
equal to the same amount because frosting is sugar and water, guys. If you've ever seen a recipe for royal icing, which is that icing that gets hard,
20
it's
what?
just water and sugar. 20 grams.
20 grams.
Mhm.
This is it right here.
That's it. That's about half.
Yeah.
That's about
It's about
half.
the same.
That's crazy. I bet if we added water to that, we'd make frosting.
Yeah, we could.
Mhm.
Or butter. Isn't it butter?
Yeah,
ask.
it's actually butter.
Don't ask how I know.
All right. To the sink.
Okay. So that's that.
Oh, I made it. Don't throw things into the sink.
Okay.
I have to wash my hands.
All right. So that was frosting. I'll go ahead and bring in one from my side.
All right.
Let's go ahead and bring this big old tub of corn that we were talking about earlier. Oh, I couldn't get my hands on a smaller one, but okay. So there is about 24 servings in this big, huge can of
Boy,
corn.
that feeds a lot of people.
Whole corn kettle. Yeah, it does. And one serving is half of this. This is 1 cup, so it's half a cup would be the appropriate serving size for all the information in our nutrition facts label. So in 1 serving, you find 7 grams of sugar. Let's go ahead and see.
Now, if I remember, I don't believe 7 grams would be all that much, right?
Nope, because there it is, 7 grams.
So you could say that corn is relatively healthy.
Yeah.
This is especially if it's fresh corn, then it's totally fine. This when it is canned, it lasts longer, feeds more people. You know, you gotta weigh your options out.
Right.
Okay, I have some cereal here.
Yeah, let's talk about the cereal
This
because
is-
cereal is something that, my goodness, we all consume.
I love cereal.
Either at
This is honey.
Morning.
Oopsies, I dropped one. This is called Honey Smacks. This is not the most sugary cereal by any means out there. Now, this is a serving. This is 1 cup. We measured it out beforehand. But this is a pretty small bowl. Done. Simple. But let's see how much. I have the box here. Let's see. Ooh, it's got 18 grams of sugar. We already know that's already half of what you're supposed to have. For 1 little bowl of cereal that you would eat 2 of, honestly, it's a lot.
all right. So
I also have some Rice Krispies. Now, these are plain. There's no sugar on them. Oops, I don't think you can see. They're plain. Oops, I dropped one. This is the cereal that you make Rice Krispie treats out of. Now, Rice Krispie treats is half cereal and half marshmallow, which is why they're so delicious, but they're not the healthiest for you. And oops. Here it says there's only 4 grams of sugar in Rice Krispies.
Oh wow! But
So
those don't have any sugar in
Yeah,
them.
because there's no sugar in them. It's just 1 teaspoon. Remember, 1 teaspoon is 4.5 grams of sugar. That's all the amount of sugar that's in this.
Oh,
And normally when you eat Rice Krispies, you add sugar on top, right?
yeah.
At least I always did.
Yeah, you
Whenever
see
I would
that.
go to my grandma's house and she would have Rice Krispies, I would just dump sugar, like a lot of sugar, and then pour milk. Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. It's really bad for you.
So I guess if you were to have this without sugar, it would be a really good alternative. to
Because you
cereal.
can always add stuff to it. It's a plain cereal, so you can
Yeah.
add fruits or nuts, or not nuts, raisins.
Raisins. Please, you like kind of raisins. Honestly, I don't know how y'all roll out there, but I really like my cereal with bananas.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I've never
I'll
heard
just
about that.
slice a banana in it, and yeah, it's really good.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good way to sweeten stuff.
Pop-Tarts, 30 grams of sugar.
30 grams. Okay, this one's interesting. Let's do this one because this is like a
Okay. So let's
Maximum
talk about the facts on Pop-Tarts.
30 grams.
1 serving per container. That's what it says here. That means that 1 serving is this. So there's 2 Pop-Tarts in here, and that's 1 serving. So it's 30 grams of sugar per serving, and there's 2 pastries. So each pastry is 15, 30 divided by 2. So there's 15 grams of sugar in each Pop-Tart. Should I open it and take it out?
I mean, yeah, go for it. I don't see why not.
Okay. I'm gonna open it and show you. Is that 30?
Yeah, this is
So
30.
that much sugar is in here. Now, to decrease the amount of sugar in Pop-Tarts, they make unfrosted versions because obviously the frosting is going to have a lot of sugar.
I did not know that.
They make unfrosted versions. So in here is 15 grams of sugar. That's half of that. And, Pop-Tarts are oh so yummy. So yummy.
Maybe it's time to start looking into a
Alternative. Definitely.
Maybe the unfrosted ones.
Yeah, the unfrosted ones, definitely. Or just eat one of them. That's the thing.
That's true. That's a really good.
You can have sugar. We're not saying to never eat sugar again. Gus is an extreme case. All you have to do is cut down.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut back.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
It's all about just like moderation.
Correct.
Everything is perfect in moderation, so that means just a little.
All right. So that was Pop-Tarts.
Okay. I think we've been talking about this for a while. I think they get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
So why don't we move on to some actual snacks?
All right.
Yay!
Let's do that.
Okay. Move this out of your way. Now, I will treat you all to some musical styling while Gus brings everything.
Okay.
Ready?
So wait, which snack are we doing first?
You choose.
Yeah, go ahead and bring mine so you can go ahead and focus on singing.
Okay. What should I sing?
Sing something from Frozen.
Okay, you don't have to tell me twice to sing something from Frozen. Wait, how does it go?
Into the unknown.
Into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. Oh, oh, oh.
Okay.
And that was it for today. Tune in next time for some more of that. All right, time to stand up now.
You know what? Actually, we're at a good angle. So, quick fact: we're using like this lens on our webcam because I'm a little tall.
Yeah, and if you notice, he's standing far away from the counter, and I'm like right up next to the counter, so it's not.
So if we were to have
like at the same
no lens, I would be like. Down here. All right. So my alternative for when you're craving sugar is actually something very simple that we've all made before, but maybe using like several different ingredients. Okay, so let's start off by talking about each one of the things that I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm going to use my choice of bread for this recipe is Ezekiel 4.9. It doesn't have to be this brand, but see what I mean? Okay.
Do you want me to read it?
I mean, yeah, we're talking about. There we go.
There's some cereal on the computer.
All right, so it's this bread. It doesn't have to be this bread, but when you do choose a sprouted grain bread over a bread that is just completely flour and gluten and all this stuff, your body has a harder time breaking that down. Mm-hmm. So sprouted grain cereal or multigrain cereal is always going to be a better choice to help out your digestive system. So this is my...
We don't want no tummy troubles.
No, sprouted grain. This has 0 sugar in it as well.
Wow.
There are some, however, Karylu had a good point. Don't be an extremist like me, right? Unless you really want to, unless that's the way you want to. But if I were craving something like super sweet and I just really had to have it, I'd probably go with something that is sweetened with agave or either honey, because those are natural sources of sugar, which I'd be more than happy to consume. So that's the bread. And then we have this creamy, unsweetened peanut butter. If you didn't know, peanut butter is sweetened, usually with 3 or 4, I believe not more than 4 grams of sugar per
Correct.
serving.
4 grams.
So this is our peanut butter. I got it at Sephora. No, I'm kidding. This is our peanut butter. It's just creamy, unsweetened. So there you have it.
Here's
that's
regular peanut butter,
Yeah,
but this one actually has 4 grams of sugar. So
yeah,
that's not that
there's
bad. That's pretty good.
And then I also brought another option, which is this creamy and no sugar or salt added. This one's almond butter. So there are different types of butters. Yeah, peanut butter. Anything that's a peanut, there's probably a butter out there for it. There's almond butter.
I was recently at the store and I saw mixed nut butter.
Oh,
so it had like all sorts of different nuts in it.
Okay. So there you go. There's like, if you are really into like an almond or a cashew or some certain a grain that you really like, more than sure look into it because there is probably a butter.
I mean, those nutrition fact labels, they're there for a reason.
Some of my things that I'm going to be using to kind of sweeten this up a little bit is this raspberry jam that I made.
He made it.
Yes, I did.
Chef Gus.
Chef Gus.
It's not a beanie, it's a chef's hat.
It's a chef's hat, correct. So this is, I made it very, very, very simple. Maybe one day we'll go ahead and do
maybe next time. Leave a comment down below if you want us to make
the recipe.
Jelly.
So this is just simply, over the stove, I put in a saucepan, I put like about half a cup of raspberries. I just made a little bit just so I could be able to show you guys. Half a cup of raspberries. You could also do this with blueberries. You can do it with strawberries or any other berry that there's a jam. Peaches. So I put a couple of them on the stove top and then I crushed them, threw in a little bit of water, and I waited until it started to bubble. And so when it bubbles, it starts releasing like the sugars and it starts creating like this kind of like glaze. So it's kind of not really a jam. It's more of like a spread, fruit spread. So this is my raspberry spread that I'm going to be using today.
Would you say like a compote?
Compote, yes.
Is that the word?
Is it?
I don't know.
Could be a compote. Okay, and I'm going to be also putting some banana in it. Like I mentioned earlier, I use to sweeten. Man, I wish I could have brought dates. Have you ever heard of dates?
Yes, they're like.
It looks like a huge raisin.
Huge raisin. That's
yeah.
right. Mm-hmm.
But instead of being like raisiny flavor, it's really, really sweet. So I use that sometimes to create like jams and stuff like that. Now, this is my banana that I'm gonna be.
Did you wash your hands already? I forgot.
Well, we washed them earlier, but once I start dealing with stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought of a lovely new song to sing while Gus washes his hands.
Because you remembered. And the last thing I'm going to be topping off my sandwich with is cinnamon powder. This is good old cinnamon powder. All right. So to wash my hands.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Peel the banana. Peel the banana. Peel the banana. Peel the banana. 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 Peel the banana. Peel the banana. Peel the banana. Peel the banana.
All right. I tried to hurry up, so there was less than that. All right. So yeah. Do you want to wash your hands so you can help me too?
Sure.
That way.
No, Gus is gonna sing for you.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna just keep explaining what we're about to do. Okay, so I took two slices of bread out from here. Oh, by the way, this bread, since it has no preservatives, it's 100% natural. It has to be kept in the freezer.
What?
So it has to be kept in the freezer, otherwise it'll go bad. And it'll usually last you around a month, which is maybe around the same time or less. It lasts you about the same as like regular bread, just because it's frozen, keeping it frozen. So
it's frozen.
Oh, yeah. So I took some out beforehand, so I wouldn't have to be dealing with
frozen.
With the frozen bread, yes.
Frozen 2?
Okay, go ahead.
Frozen 2?
Move this a little bit lower. There we go.
Sorry, guys. I love frozen.
So there's our bread, right? And I don't know, what are you all feeling? Is it almond butter or just regular creamy?
Can you do one almond and one peanut butter?
Yes.
Because personally, I don't like peanut butter.
You know what? We'll do one, and you get to customize yours, and I'll get to customize mine. So it won't really be a sandwich, but keep in mind that you can just. I was planning to just kind of do a sandwich, but we're gonna kind of do like toasts, and you could also toast this.
Should we get the toaster?
Yes, we should. So we're gonna get our toaster.
Magically, I'm going to summon the toaster, Akio Toaster. Those were not names that you saw in the frame. Don't be ridiculous. I'm magic.
So
okay, I went to Hogwarts.
Okay, so while you get that ready.
It's ready.
It's ready? Okay.
All you have to do is plug it in.
Toast this right on this side.
Wait,
you gotta choose the level.
3.5, that's too much.
3.5?
I'm gonna do 3.
Okay.
Wait, oh, I see it.
A little less. All right.
Ooh.
Okay. So, yeah.
Should always mix up the nut butter.
Sugar, yes?
Sometimes the natural oil's in it separate.
Which one were you gonna kind of, you were down for almond?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do regular peanut butter just so we can.
Actually, it doesn't need any mixing.
No?
No.
Okay, yeah, because I make sure to get like a creamy thing. But here's it in your.
Ooh, don't start the creamy versus crunchy debate on this channel.
Oh. Okay.
Once again, don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell.
All right. This one does need a little bit of mixing because the oil comes to the top,
which is it's still good. It's totally normal. It's a natural thing.
Yeah. And then all of the peanut butter just kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, that's because I also want you guys to see what we're working with.
No, we get it. No, it's okay. We don't need your face.
So there we go. Just kind of mixing it really quick here, making sure I get peanut and oil. Otherwise, if I were to just get the top stuff, we would more than likely just end up having a bunch of oil, which is not a good thing. So a lot of people think that sugar is just in stuff that is classified sweet, but in reality, sugar is in everything. Sugar is in rice, it's in potato, it's in bread, it's in some of the things that you least imagine that it will be, it's there. But like I mentioned earlier, there's a huge difference between the refined and processed sugar as opposed to natural sugars. Natural sugars contain vitamins and minerals that help your body break down the sugar, making it easier for you to digest, as opposed to something that is refined and processed. Your body will have a little bit of a longer time breaking that down. It'll be in your system just a lot longer. So yes, how is our bread?
It's toasting.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So yeah, you can go ahead and get mine too.
I was going to.
Okay. All right. So here, I have a spoon for
Thank
your almond butter. Yeah. So very simple.
Wow, that one is very liquidy. This one is a lot thicker.
Yeah.
More like regular butter. And the good thing about it being on toast is that it can kind of melt up a bit. I personally love bread. I love bread. I love toast.
Me
bread,
too.
I mean, you know.
So not only do I like eating like toast with peanut butter, but I'll sometimes do like avocado.
Ooh, yeah. So guys, we're just putting about a tablespoon on. 1 to 2 tablespoons is a good serving. You know.
I don't even know.
Eyeball it. You don't have to get out of measuring. Look at that. It's kind of melty. I don't know if you can see because of the lights.
All right. And then we're going to do some of this, the strawberry, what was the word you used? Compote. So I'm just going to go ahead and do one big.
I'm going to go a little more light-handed.
There we go. Kind of getting it everywhere. So if you wanted to do a sandwich, you could do one side of the peanut butter and then the other side.
Ooh, yeah.
You just did your fruit or your jelly, right? Mm-hmm. So I know not a lot of you might have the time to actually do something like that, like a whole. What you use the word compost?
No, compost is something else.
Yes, it is. Don't
compote.
Compote. You might not have the time to do a whole compote, but you can always look whenever you're out grocery shopping. You can look for options that contain less sugar.
Can I have some blueberries?
Oh, yes. Or you could even do both.
I don't like.
Oh, you don't like bananas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm picky, but that's okay because
So-
I eat
I'm just cutting this banana into like very small slices.
blueberries.
I don't know if you've ever had this or not. The first time I had it, I was a little bit freaked out. I was like, what are you doing to your peanut butter and jelly sandwich? But little did I know it was going to become one of my favorite snacks. So I think that's enough since Karylu's not going to.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to go ahead and put them on top
I should have made a face. I'm gonna make a face.
of my bread. And I also want to add some blueberries.
I made a face.
So I'm gonna take some blueberries and just kind of stick them in between. These are already washed. If you get blueberries, don't use them straight out of the little plastic
That's
container.
true. Always wash all your
Because
veggies and your produce.
you need to wash them.
Mhm.
All right, and then the last thing we're gonna go ahead and add
Some cinnamon.
some cinnamon.
Not too much because cinnamon is very potent. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is, but I really like cinnamon.
Oh, okay.
Cinnamon doesn't have any sugar. Okay,
I know, but it's so.
It's too strong for you. It's not really.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess I'll try it just a little teeny tiny bit. Taste test?
Okay, taste test. So this is what my toast looks like.
Comment down below on whose is better. It's mine. It's cute. It has a thing.
All right, taste test. Here we go. Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's really good.
Wow.
How's your almond butter?
It's
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Is it sticking to your teeth?
Because I didn't put that much. That's
Oh,
why.
okay. Mine's a little bit. All right, it's just so good.
Wow. Actually, this is my first time trying Gus's fancy bread, and it's pretty good.
So there you have it.
What's next? Okay. So, looks like today we have run out of time. Another snack option you can do is yogurt. Greek yogurt is very good. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So Greek yogurt is a very good option. A lot of times you'll get like Go-Gurt or Danimals and all that stuff. It has a lot of sugar. But Greek yogurt, you can put fruit in it, granola. It's really good. Maybe next time we will sprinkle that in. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, to sum all of it up, I guess to sum all of it up, don't forget sugar needs to be consumed moderately, not completely canceled out of your diet, because it is something that is should be a part of your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Sugars are important to our diet, but like Karylu mentioned, just do it in moderation.
yeah, join us next time and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.